Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Tidal Blast armor by Kenner, which is part of the Centurion line. Now Max wasn't always my favorite of the three Centurions. He was cool in his own right, but he was kind of the harder figure to play with because, Jake was your ground guy. You can have him do all the ground assault stuff. Ace was your air guy, and he was the ocean guy. Yes, he's cool in concept, but a lot of times when you're a kid playing, you don't really have water around. It's usually a land-based attack or air. So he was harder to play with, but he's still overall a really cool looking figure. I do like him and his armor set. So with that being said, first off, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed and you like this video, then I ask that you please subscribe and also check out my Centurion playlist. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at this armor. Now, just a reminder, with this armor, Max Ray does not come with it. So, you would have to get him separate, which isn't a big deal because you can find a Max Ray figure with just a figure and his helmet for, somewhere between 20 to 30 bucks. Sometimes you can find them a little bit cheaper. So I've been just buying like one of those Centurions to go with the different power armor so I could display them. Because the original Max Ray figure, he comes with his own equipment and stuff like backpack, weapons, and what have you. So I just want to let folks know that he doesn't come with the armor, but you can get him separate if you want. So put him aside. Let's look at all the different parts of this. So first you got the back piece. All right. This is pretty neat. Your cannons move individually, or actually torpedo chutes. All right. So there it is from the bottom. These are the pieces that hook onto it. All right. Put that over there. You have the chest piece. All right. Then you spin it around here. That's how it's going to hook onto him. Now you do have these two bars. So if you ever want to display it separately from him, they do hook into here. And then it'll just clip together and then you could store it however you want. All right. You have two torpedoes that come with them. All right. So there's one. All right. And two. You get two kind of fins. All right. One. And two. Now you get all your little pieces. So you get this little yellow laser. Now, with this set, these little yellow pieces are the hardest parts to find because they're small. And when we were kids and we had these were usually the parts that got lost. So you have this. All right. You have this goofy thing, which to this day I still don't know what that's supposed to be. All right. You have this little arm cannon. All right. You have this thing here. And then last but not least, the hardest part to find on him is this hook. This is the hardest part. Usually, if you try to get this separate, it usually is very expensive because it was the easiest part to get lost with this set. So if you have one that has this, then you're in pretty good shape. So now we're going to look and see how this stuff hooks onto them. Now these figures have multiple ports. So you see all these chest ports, arm ports, and leg ports. The same with his back. All right. Now, a lot of this stuff you can put on however you want. I will set them up in the standard setup, but once again, that's the neatest thing about these figures is that you could set him up however you want him to be. So, the backpack goes on like that, just clicks in with no issues. Now, these things, like I said, you can put them wherever you want. So, if you want to display him with them like this, that would be cool as well. But standardly they go on his legs, but that actually is a pretty neat setup. You know, so you could just clip those there. You can also clip them onto his arms. Once again, these figures are only limited to your imagination. That's what's made them so great, is that you do have all these different options. So now you have this cannon here, which, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. There we go. I'll put this chest piece on. Move his arm out of the way a little bit. And that just clips in, just like that. All right, now you get this cannon. Pop that on here. All right, now spin them around this way. You got a port here too. So this can plug into there, and when you bring them around to the front, it'll cause this gun to spin, and these pieces to move in and out like they are, you know, pumping oxygen into them. So that's pretty cool. But now, here's the kicker to this setup. And in concept, it's cool, but it also interferes with these. So your torpedoes launch the same way. All right, so let's get these torpedoes in here. Luckily for me, I was able to get ones with good springs, so they lock in there really nicely. So as you saw, I did that spinning action from the back, and it moves this cannon and these respirators, but it also fires the missiles. So if you have him set up like this, and you want any of this to work, you have to take the missiles out, otherwise it's going to launch them. And speaking of which, let's do the demonstration. I point the missiles back, so you know they don't go flying all over the place and I lose them. So one, and wait a minute, why ain't number two firing? Did earlier. For some reason this one ain't firing. There it goes. All right, it probably wasn't in completely, but as you see, that's how you fire the two missiles, you know, out of there. So, and like I said, unfortunately with that is, if you have the torpedoes in, you can't do any of this without launching off your torpedoes. So that's kind of a flaw. I've seen worse flaws on, you know, action figures and stuff. So that's trust me, isn't the worst thing I ever seen. So now back to some of the other stuff. So you got your yellow thing here, which you kind of just hook onto the back, just like that. You have this one, which looks to be like an extra engine or something. Matter of fact, oops, that one likes to launch. So I'll just put this back here. Now, sometimes if you don't want to run the risk of your missiles shooting off like that, I would put something that goes onto the back in this, either in this peg hole here or this one here, so you don't accidentally jolt it and cause your missiles to launch like that did. Well, actually, torpedoes. I keep on calling them missiles, but they're torpedoes. All right, swinging around to the front. Now, in general, this hook is supposed to connect here, just like that. And like I said, you can put it anywhere you want. The same with this cannon. It's like designed to be an arm cannon, so you can put that there. So that is the basic setup with him. And like I keep saying over and over in this, you could put any of this stuff wherever you want it, however you want it. Now, I got lucky with this one. Most of his parts are very solid, so they clip into the holes very easily sometimes. You'll get a hold of some of these guys, and some of the holes have been, or the pegs have been so worn out that they do clip in, but they don't hold very well. So I got lucky with this set. So I overall think this is a really cool set, and I like the overall look to it. All right, so my final thoughts on this armor is I really do like it. I think it's a really cool set to go with your Max Ray figure. Everything fits on very well, swaps, you know, the whole 9 yards, just like it should. Probably the only real flaw I feel that this guy has is the missiles that they launch when you work the front piece. I kind of feel like that should have been two separate parts, because if you're trying to work all this and then you push the thing and you have the missiles on, next thing you know, your torpedoes are flying off into the heavens. So that's the only flaw. It's a minor issue to me. So other than that, he's a great figure. If you were a fan of the Centurions, you would definitely want to add him to your collection, what have you. So with that being said, I hope you all did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Centurion playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.